LGBTQ 1-Minute News. Let's queer up the USA view. Texas A&M's new ban alarms LGBTQ plus students and advocates. Texas A&M has banned professors from discussing, quote, race or gender ideology, end quote, without prior presidential approval, escalating Texas's crackdown on free speech in higher education. The ACLU of Texas warned that the move is, quote, misguided, discriminatory, and an insult to academic freedom, end quote. Attorney Chloe Kempf said, quote, Texas A&M should immediately rescind its policy, end quote. The decision follows the firing of Professor Melissa McCoul for noting that there are more than two genders. Amen. Students report rising harassment as universities cut LGBTQ plus programs, while state leaders claim they're fighting, quote, leftist ideologies, end quote. I went to this university for a couple of years in my undergrad until I saw the light and decided to become a nurse and moved on. And it doesn't surprise me because I won't even say what year it was, but I will say it was a long time ago, before the turn of the century. And I'll say this, it was discriminatory, it was hostile back then. You have to understand, what is Texas A&M? It stands for agricultural and mechanical. So right there you understand that you have middle America, you have rural communities that are drawn to this university, and there is a military presence on the campus. So we have the Corps of Cadets. So there, once again, you have more of this machismo, this rural, heterosexual, normative, Christian, dominant organization on campus, and I never felt safe on campus. And it's really a shame that these professors who are speaking truth are being really fired and cut out. So once again, invisibility is being put forward, and they just don't want us to exist. I think Texas is really doing a disservice to our community because they're creating a culture of cancel. And they're promoting discrimination. They give people permission to be vile, inappropriate, and hostile to our community.
And they're stopping them right there with the education.
Yes.
You know, I mean, you're right there at the college where you're just saying, you know, we don't want to promote this. We don't want to see this. Because it's trickling down into the high schools and the grade schools. We can't even have, books there to show that we're LGBTQ. Right. So, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, especially in the state of Texas, obviously a red state, and it's kind of a trickle-down effect, like you said.
Very
I think,
much.
They were talking about, what was the quote, educational freedom or academic freedom? You may not have that, all right? There's always a curriculum you have to follow, but you do have freedom of choice still, and you can not go to that school. You can maybe put your money somewhere else.
Yeah, there's some wonderful schools in Texas that are very queer friendly, and I just say do your homework and find communities that support you and help you shine your light.
You know what's interesting? You say that, like it's interesting. You're not saying run from Texas. Like you see the difference between us and them.
I love my state. They're crazy.
Stay in the state. Just go to a different school. They would have said, "Get the fuck out of our state."
Well,
right.
Because we know better. Because we're also living in a red state here too.
Yes,
and we know that there are spaces for us.
Yeah.
Like there are in Texas.
Yes.
There's Dallas. There's Houston. There are so many welcoming cities and communities for us. You just have to go and find them.
Yes. Amen to that. This is an LGBTQ 1-minute news story. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.